Do you ever feel like the only way to be strong and safe in the world is if you hold everything together? Do you carry responsibility so deeply within you that even taking a moment of rest feels risky or unsafe? Have you ever wondered why success feels a bit more pressurized than you anticipated, and yet simultaneously you feel like you're one step away from everything crashing out beneath you? What if all this pressure isn't actually a sign of weakness, but rather your nervous system begging for a different type of support than what it's received in the past? Because unfortunately, success can make us take life too seriously. And in that seriousness, you feel responsible for everyone all the time, almost as if you're taking on the archetype of the mountain, where you're strong, steady, capable, but always the one holding everything together for everyone all the time. And if that sounds like something you've been dealing with, then stick around, because I've got a few quick techniques you can do right away that'll pull you out of that funk. So let's dive in. Welcome to where you are finally able to get unstuck and experience nervous system peace that is integrated into your everyday life as your new normal. Because transformation is a way of life here, and yours begins now. So unfortunately, in the shadow, where you feel like you have to be the mountain for everybody, that strong, dependable, capable one, it doesn't often give us the room to also simultaneously feel human. Because if you have to be this strong, steady thing, and then also this feeling, sentient being, the two are not necessarily the same. And it can, when we are in that nervous system state of needing to be holding everything together, it does not give us the ability to shut it off and become the emotional state we need to have a balance of. And that's because if we are in that state all the time of the mountain, it creates a sensation of emotions and stress and expectations that quite literally is impossible for humans to maintain. You'll start to feel burdened, stiff, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious. Your body will feel pressure. You'll feel self-criticized. You'll feel criticized by others and even by yourself. And you won't be able to have that softness the human side of us really needs. A man or woman, it doesn't matter. We all need that ability to rest our head and actually let it go and put it down. If you're exhausted and running on fumes, please know stress is rewiring your nervous system, and not for the good. If you've got 15 minutes, then check out the free 7-day version of our 90-day program, Nervous System Reset, that will help your body finally breathe again. Not forget about it, but just put it down for just a minute. And that can be really hard, because you might be like, but Alex, I am quite literally the only one solely responsible for my children. Maybe you're a solo parent. I am too. I had to go through this as well, because I actually had to work through some of these very same things years ago when I was able to learn how to really rest into my feminine energy, because being there was too scary. It was too difficult. It was too hard, because I had to keep everything together. Well, I'm still a solo mom of 3. I'm still doing it all. And I can rest into my feminine because I've learned the ability to detach from that side. Not saying it doesn't exist, but when you can detach and say there's a time for this, and I have a time to be human, soft and gentle, the two become a balance of one another, rather than an all or nothing state where you're always in that mountain solid, holding it together state, versus ebbing and flowing, especially as a woman, and our energies in the way that we can go back and forth, quite simply, where we are able to step into that feminine energy, that softness, that humanness. Yes, if you're a man, you absolutely have feminine energy. Not saying that you're a feminine man. It's just you also have a balance, because if you are 100% masculine, it'll be, you need a softening, right? It just is what it is. And then women, we traditionally have a flip of it, right? And so either way, it doesn't matter what you are or how you identify. What matters is the energy that you're willing to surrender into and submit that vulnerability within yourself to hold that space for you to be in that softness of a human, to be able to rest your head, to be able to give yourself that break. So I want to give us a couple of exercises that will help you reframe and pull out of that urgent stuckness and give your body the ability to be a human and have a break, because you absolutely deserve it. So first, I want you to actually get very clear about the thoughts you're having around this particular belief. Maybe if I don't do it, it'll never get done, right? That sounds to be like a common one. So if that's what the thought is coming up when you are having those sensations, or you feel like you have to hold it all together, this is where I want you to get very clear about what it is that's happening. And I want you to put yourself in position of, if a friend was to come to you with these thoughts, ideas, and things that I'm about to go into, how would you frame it, and how would you like receive it, listening to them as a mutual friend or as a friend, right? So the first thought is, if I have to hold everything all the time together or something like that, I'm able to receive support as I need. And being aware that we do have needs, and being able to recognize those needs as well. Because speaking into life, the things that are going on that you're wanting to create is absolutely a game changer, and by having a very clear focused goal. So when we're able to recognize, okay, I recognize this catastrophic thought, it is all or nothing. What is it that I actually want to create instead? Well, it would be nice if I had more support, things like that, right? Like whatever it is that's going to support you in getting to the end goal of what it is you want to create. I don't want to have to hold it all together. I want to feel easy and restful in my feminine energy more often than not, right? And so this is just going back into that grounded stability of what it is that you're wanting to create instead. And so instead of holding it all together, I'm able to receive support to ease my load, right? We'll just go with something like that. So when you're able to recognize that this is the needs I have, and it's going to actually give me the tangible results of, I'm going to feel more rested. Maybe I have less things to do. Maybe you hire a maid and have somebody come clean the house once a week so that you have less house chores. Maybe you have a laundry service so that you don't have as much laundry to do, right? Like there's so many little things you can outsource that is getting support and no longer making you feel like you have to hold everything all together. And maybe you're like, Alex, money is too tight. I don't have any money to spend anything and I have to do it all. Great. Why don't you incorporate your children, right? Giving your kids an authority of their things gives them that sense of responsibility, and they're more likely to take care of things better. So you can get creative with a bunch of different ways on how it is you can receive support. But first, you got to start getting clear on what it is you want to create new instead. So if you are stuck in that cognition where you're just in that loop, I always have to do it again or everything's going to fall apart, you're going to stay in there until you start to give yourself opportunities to break it. Because, and when I mean break it, is break that thought loop that your body has energetically and emotionally tagged onto, and it's going to hold onto it because it's familiar. The brain loves familiarity. The brain loves habits. It's why breaking habits is really difficult, because we'll stack onto that and we will not want to let go because it's familiar, not necessarily healthy or the best thing for us. Okay. And just remember, whenever you're breaking a bad habit, you're going to be feeling different. It's going to feel off. It's going to feel weird. And that's completely normal. Actually, that's my little indicator that what I'm doing is working. If I'm trying to create something new or a new habit or whatever it is, I am looking for the discomfort I am inevitably going to feel. It's because it's uncomfortable doing something we've never done before across the board. It just generally is. Okay. Just now what degree, of course, is going to vary, but there's going to be some level. And for me, that's always my target, that I'm doing something right. And I got to, I can keep going in the direction I'm going, especially if it's something that's really ambiguous and I'm not really sure how to get there. It's a great indicator, at least for myself, that I personally look for. Because when we're able to recognize with clear understanding what is supposed to come, what is the trajectory to get there, right? Like what's the path that our vehicle is going to take to get to point B after we identified where point B even is over here at point A. And so when we can give our body something tangible to grip onto, having lived experiences, moving through the moment, our body will physically begin to soften out of survival mode into the calm mode where we are wanting to relax and ease into our existence. This is why identifying the type of thoughts you're having. So in this case, I don't carry it all alone, everything will fail, right? That's a catastrophic thought. That's a very distorted thought. That is a very perfectionism. Did you know that according to our analytics, most of the people watching our content aren't actually subscribed? If you're enjoying this, please do hit that like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel and is a free way to support us. Over responsibility type mindset, and we want to change it. So then when we change it to something clear is, I'm able to receive support as I need it. That's not saying I have to be this vulnerable doormat or completely change my life. No, I'm simply stating that as I need support, I'm able to achieve it. And guess what? As I have needed support in my life, I have been able to achieve it because I stopped putting up that wall that said, no, I can't have anything because it's going to fall apart. No, honey. When we're able to step into the intentional creation of the support we want to receive, that is the key in everything, because we have crystal clarity of what it should look like and feel like, because we've already assessed what that is back here at point A before we even went on our journey to point B. And that leads us into the next phase of having to be able to give your body back that actual stacked memory. And so if this is a big struggle, I want you to go to a memory in which you were able to achieve even a portion of this goal, right? So for me, it could be I was able to receive a gift from somebody for whatever reason, right? Even a birthday gift, right? Anything like that that allowed me to receive. And that might sound silly, like, of course I'm going to receive a birthday gift. Well, if you have issues in other areas of receiving or being soft and like releasing the control, it can be a really big challenge to even recognize that that exists, although simultaneously you might be fine receiving birthday gifts just fine. And so we need to come back into the memory of your body that is receiving the birthday gifts, no problem. You are physically receiving something and you have no emotional state that rejects it. We want to tap into that energy state, right? We don't want to tap into the one that's overwhelmed and everything over here says, I can't receive. Well, yes, you can. And here is a memory in which you can stack with that body sensation you're trying to achieve. And so when we go into that space where we have found the event in which what we're desiring has taken place to any degree, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be identical to any degree, then our body is able to actually sense, oh, I have done this before. Okay, that's familiar now. Okay, let's take that familiarity and bring it into the state in which we're trying to create with. Because that is what we are able to tap into our own lived experiences to help override the fear, the trauma, the whatever it is that's holding you back. You are able to allow yourself to thought stack and pull your body energetically into a different direction, utilizing your own memory. So go ahead and try out these techniques. Let me know down in the comments below how this worked, how this resonates, and if you see yourself in my shoes and the things that I'm talking about today, because I think this is such a common problem that not a lot of people are talking about. However, it's incredibly important we give our bodies an actual thought sensation loop where we are able to tap into that ability to literally shift our life, y'all. Like, it's not, once you learn the techniques, it's incredibly simple. But at the same time, it can be really difficult because when you say get crystal clear, I mean get crystal freaking clear of everything you want to co-create with and create into existence. Because when we have that clarity and that focus and that very clear thought, that's where our reticular activating system can start jumping online and filtering out everything that does not have that very clear endpoint. So head on over to our meditation, drop a comment down below, let me know how today resonated, and I'll catch y'all next time.